it's Lizzy. I just watched Mulan, the live action, so I want to share with you guys some of my thoughts because it is a pretty expensive movie. You have to pay $30 on top of your subscription fee to Disney Plus. Because back in China, I used to only have to pay a few bucks to get a movie ticket. So $30 is a lot for a movie, and you can't even get a big screen. So I want to share with you guys some of my thoughts so you won't regret spending the money. Just a disclaimer first. All the things I'm going to say is based on my own opinions. If you agree with me, and that's great, you can hit the like button. If you don't agree with me, comment down below and we can all discuss about it. So please do not fill this video with hate, okay? So let's just get into it. Well, actually, as a Chinese, of course, I really expect the movie to be great. Because first, Mulan is like my hero growing up. Mulan is the Disney princess that I look up to. Because Mulan is the representation of our Asian kids, of Chinese kids. There are still children that are not represented by Disney princesses. So I'm lucky to have Mulan as a character that I can look up to when I was still a child. So I really want the movie to be great because Mulan is a hero that I look up to. She's so fierce, she's a badass, and she taught me so many things. And the animation is just such a classic. All the songs are great, all the scores are great. Then the movie is humorous and as well as meaningful. So I really hope that the live action would be just as great as animation. And another thing that you rarely see Asian faces on the movie screen, like the full Asian cast. Think about it, when is the last time you see a full Asian cast? The Farewell and the Crazy Rich Asians. And the Farewell doesn't even do that good in box office, and it's the Crazy Rich Asians, that's like 3 years ago. So I'm really expecting Mulan because Mulan has a full Asian cast, and it really means a lot to us Asians, as Chinese. So I really hope this movie to be a success. And you know what, another thing that I have it, like, I'm not really harsh on movies because I know Disney has done a lot of live actions and I like many of them. For example, the first one, Alice in Wonderland, I think that's a great movie. And Cinderella, the dress transformation is so beautiful. And I'm okay with Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, and Aladdin. I think Aladdin is pretty super great. I really like Aladdin. And so I have a okay standard for Disney live action movies, and I'm a super Disney fan because you can ask all my friends and they will tell you no one loves Disney more than me, okay? So these are the reasons that I really expect this movie to be good, even though it has no Mushu, no songs, no Li Shang, many of the things that I love from the animation. So guys, I will just tell you my final verdict about the movie, and I will explain what I like about the movie and what I don't like about this movie later. So my final verdict about this movie is that no, don't watch it. If you wanna regret spending $30 on a crap movie, then go watch it. I have nothing against it. I'm just honestly telling you that please don't watch it. If you will regret spending $30, you will regret spending 100 minutes to watch that movie, okay? Because as a Chinese, I really want you guys to spend the money, and then the movie would do great on box office, and Hollywood can make more Asian movies, but I'm not going to do that. The movie is not great. I'm just telling you guys the truth, okay? And I'm not even going to talk about Mushu or the missing songs. And I'm gonna try not to compare it with the animation. I'm only going to judge the movie by itself, forgetting that I have watched the animation 1,000 times. I like Mushu and I like all those songs. No, this movie is not great by itself. So now I'm going to just tell you guys what I like about the movie and what I don't like about the movie, and just give you guys a really thorough review about this movie, like why I don't like it. And you know guys, I really take notes, and I never do that while I was watching the movie, so you can tell by that how bored I was. And let's just get right into it. So what I liked about the movie, So at the start of the movie, you will see Mulan riding her horse, and there are two rabbits running alongside her, and that is actually a reference from the original point about Mulan. So I think that's a great point, because that means the writer actually did some research about Mulan, and I'm glad they used the reference from the point. So that's a great thing, meaning that they have done some research. They're not just writing some crap. And another thing is that I'm glad they choose to use reflection as the background music. So we all know that there are no songs, no singing in this movie. It's not a musical. So I'm glad they choose to still use reflection as the background music. And a reflection actually appears twice in this movie. And whenever reflection comes out, it got me chills. Like when the reflection came out, I got goosebumps, literally. So I'm glad they chose that, and when reflection came out, it was the highlight of the movie. I mean, it connects with the audience that used to watch the animation, because reflection is such a big hit, and I would listen to reflection. I would sing along with it whenever I had a depression or something. So reflection is such a big deal. I'm super glad they used it. I'm just gonna tell you guys honestly, the other background music did nothing to me. I feel nothing when I was listening to those background music, and I don't know why, because I think they did a little trick there, because when the reflection came out, the volume of the song is actually higher than the other background music. So I don't know why. I think they intend to do that so that you got goosebumps and you got chills, so you will remember the feeling when after you have watched the movie. So they will make you think that the movie is great. The movie reminds me of my childhood. Maybe they want to do that. I don't know why, because when reflection came out, the volume suddenly goes up. So, and literally, I feel nothing about other background music, and I think that is also a major fail, because for Frozen 2, everyone remembers the Na 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 Hey Ya song, and that is super great, because for Mulan, there's nothing about it, and I don't see any Chinese element in all those songs, all those background music. So I don't know why. I don't know why they're not using that, because Mulan is a movie based on Chinese. Why they are not using that? I have no idea. So that finished what I liked about that finished up what I like about the movie. There are just 2 points, and in one of these points, I also said something what I don't like about the movie. So that is just a hard truth. So before I talk about what I don't like about the movie, I'm just giving you guys a quick review about the characters, because you have to know that there are so many new characters and there are new storylines. So first, for the antagonist in the old animation, they are fighting Changyu, and now in the live action, they are fighting a tribe called Rorans, and I have no idea who Rorans are. Rorans do not even exist in Chinese history. By the way, Changyus are actually in the Chinese history, but Rorans are not. So I have no idea who the Rorans are, and the leader of the Rorans are called Borikahan, and there is a witch. The witch is super powerful, but she is always in exile, and she is not accepted by any other kingdoms. So she turned to Borikahan and helps Borikahan. So that is a major plot hole I'm going to talk about later. Anyway, so that is most of the character you need to know. So I'm going to talk about what I don't like about the movie. One major reason I don't like a movie is this movie tries to stigmatize Mulan too much. Because Mulan, we all know that Mulan is about a humble heroism. But in this movie, I see no humbleness. They just want to make Mulan a super big hero. Like Mulan saves the emperor, Mulan saves China all by herself. She's the one that saves the China, and she doesn't need any help to save the China. So let's just think about that. In the old animation, Mulan saved China because she collaborated with her fellow warriors Lin, Yao, Qingbao, and Li Shang, and they use some tricks and they saved China altogether. Mulan couldn't even done that by herself, so basically everyone is in the spotlight, right? And this also teach the children, teach us an important idea about teamwork, and this idea is not conveyed in the live action Mulan. So basically the live action Mulan is taught the children nothing about teamwork, which is a really important life lesson. And another thing that like everyone is in the spotlight of the animation, because pause this video and try it. How many characters can you name from the animation? Try it. Pause this video and try it. I guess over 10, right? But in a live action movie, I'm honestly going to tell you guys, I remember less than 10 names from the live action movie. I don't even know how many names I remember, because there is a soldier that literally has a love connection with Mulan, and I have no idea what his name is. And that is just ridiculous. And the other names I have remembered is that they have the name that are used in the animation. So they have failed to build characters. They only build the character of Mulan, and they failed to build the characters of other sidekicks. But for a movie to be great, you have to see character development in all of them. But we can only see that in Mulan. And by the way, I'm going to talk about that later. Mulan has literally no character development, okay? I'm super sad they tried to make a big deal out of Mulan. Like, Mulan is the real hero after all. No one helped her. She is the one that saved China all by herself. And let me just give you guys some examples. Well, first, she fights the witch all by herself. The other warrior doesn't even see the witch. And then she fights the Borika Han by herself. And then she killed the Borika Han by herself. And then she saved the emperor by herself. So there is no scene about the fellow warriors. Literally, the fellow warriors are all in the palace fighting the Rorans, and Mulan just runs to the new palace and then fight the Borika Han and save the emperor all by herself. So why do we have to make such a big deal out of Mulan? Like, Mulan is about humble heroism, and I see no humbleness in this Mulan, okay? So that is a major fail in the character. And you know what? Another thing that they built in Mulan is that Mulan is the one that is right always. Because, you know, in the old animation, that Mulan needs so many guidance to be great and to realize who she truly is. For example, in the old animation, Mulan's father tells her that she's a late flower, but when the late flower blooms, it will be the most beautiful of all. And the emperor also tells Mulan that the flower that blooms in adversity is the most rarest of all. So there are so many life lessons give to Mulan and give to us children, but there's nothing about that in the live action Mulan. Do you have any idea what Mulan's father said to Mulan? Mulan's father said that Mulan has to hide her difference, hide her talent from others, and Mulan has to bring the honor to her family basically through marriage. And how is that right? How, like, why her father is saying that? How her father could say that? That is super weird, right? So basically, I don't know why they make such a big deal out of Mulan. Basically, if a movie is great, then all the characters would shine together. Not just the main character, not just the lead actress. So that is why I think Mulan is a fail. Because Mulan is the only one that shines in that movie, even though the movie is called Mulan. And just a simple example there, because in Cinderella is not the only one that shines in that movie. Lady Chengmei has a major character development in that movie, and Lady Chengmei left me with deep impression in that movie. So all the characters are great, and even Prince Charming in the movie. Prince Charming came out like 10 minutes, and I already know his personality characteristic. But for live action Mulan, Mulan is the one that has characteristic and personality, and her fellow warriors have none. So that is a major fail, okay? So I really don't like that they only trying to shine a spotlight on Mulan. Anyway, the second thing, I don't like it about movies that they introduce a new idea in that movie called qi. And as a Chinese, I have no idea what qi is. And after 45 minutes I have been watching that movie, they finally explain what qi is through the mouth of the general. And then I realized qi is actually the same as the force in Star Wars. Basically, qi is the thing that Mulan has growing up, but the other kid doesn't have. So basically what they're saying that Mulan is actually gifted with qi. And that is not personality and not his cleverness. She is just only flowing with the force. So that's why she is so powerful, and she is good at sword and good at fighting at the very first place before she is even trained at the campsite. Basically, this movie tells me, oh, you have to wait for your force to be awakened so that you can save the China. That doesn't even make sense. All the children, after watching that movie, are going to ask their parents, Mama, Papa, do y'all have qi? Or like, why do they have to introduce the idea of qi there? Why? Because in the animation, Mulan saved China because she is clever and she knows about teamwork. It's not about qi. And qi is not a thing everyone has. Why you have to say that in a movie that a girl became successful because of qi, because they think that nobody else have? Why you have to do that? What us normal kids would think about that, right? Oh, and maybe someone will argue that qi is just her being clever, right? But I don't see her being clever except in one thing, and that one thing is directly copied from the old animation. She's clever in just one thing, and the one thing is just she set up the avalanche. And that is just a scene directly taken from the animation. And by the way, the plot is so different from the old animation, and all the highlights actually from the old animation. And I do not say that because I am biased. I'm not. I'm just telling the honest truth. All the highlights are from the old animation. And do you know what they used to portray Mulan's qi in this live action? Basically, at the start of the movie, Mulan is chasing a chicken, and that scene portrays that Mulan is different from anyone else, that she is overflowing with his qi. And I don't see how that comes, because chasing a chicken in the neighborhood and making a mess and interfering anyone else's work is just naughty. It's not clever. It's just naughty, okay? In the old animation, they portray Mulan's cleverness by telling us that Mulan would use some tricks in her daily life to make her choice become easy. And also in the song, Bring Honor to Us All, they showed us she's clever because she solved a chess dilemma at a very short amount of time. And also she saved China because she can think of the tricks that nobody can. So that is how you portray cleverness, okay? Not by chasing a chicken and making a mess of the neighborhood. So I have strong issues about the movie. They are portraying the wrong ideas to the children. My third point. You know there's a witch character in this film, right? And you know the witch is super weird, and the witch just feels like Mulan's fairy godmother. Because you know what? Mulan goes to war dressed as a man, right? And it is the witch that told Mulan that you should not dress like a man. You should be true to yourself. So basically, the witch is the one that told Mulan to be true to herself so that Mulan can save the day. So that seems like a thing fairy godmother would do, right? And you know what? At the end, the witch died for Mulan in order to save Mulan's life. Even though I know the fairy godmother did not die for Cinderella, but that sounds a thing like fairy godmother would do that, right? To protect their kids. So that is a super weird thing in that movie, and that just not even makes sense because the witch is supposed to be a villain, and the witch turned from being evil to good at a super short amount of time. And you know what? The witch turned from good just because she heard a tiny speech from Mulan. And after that little tiny speech, she realized that, oh, I have such power. Why I have to use it in evil to help Bori Khan? I should be good. And then she died for Mulan. That just doesn't even make sense. And but the movie is just super weird, okay? Everything in this film is just super doesn't make sense. I have no idea what the writer is doing in that film. They can just copy the scenes from the animation and just add a little bit of details, just like Cinderella and the Beauty and the Beast, and that movie would be a great thing, right? We know some live action movies that are great with some adjustment to the plot, or they change the plot. For example, Alice in Wonderland, they completely changed the plot because in the old animation, Alice is still a little girl. Alice did not slay the Jabberwocky, but in live action, Alice slayed the Jabberwocky. So that is a big change from animation to live action, and that change is actually good. The plot makes sense, and for Mulan, the plot is a mess, and the pace is a mess. The witch turned from being bad to evil at such a short notice, and before Mulan joining the army, the pace of the movie is like super slow. Everything is done in such a detail, and after Mulan has joined the army, the speed of the movie just starts to speed up, and it seems like the movie is just rushing you to finish, because we all know the result. Mulan joined the army and saved China, so they are trying to rush you through the process. And then the movie just ends abruptly. So I have no idea what the directors are doing. So sorry, I'm just getting overexcited because I really hate that movie. And there's this thing that I don't get with the witch. Because the witch is a super powerful character. She doesn't even need Bori Khan to kill the emperor to take her revenge. She can all do that by herself, so why she has to go to Bori Khan? So I guess the director is trying to portray the idea of feminism, the idea that women should fight for herself on Mulan, but not on the witch. So that does not even make sense. Why the witch cannot be the character that gives us a message about feminism, right? Why the witch has to be the weak character? Because there's no reason for this witch to be weak. It just doesn't make sense, okay? And another thing that I have a really strong issue about this movie is that the clothes. So for a movie to be great, it has to be either historically accurate and aesthetically beautiful, right? But Mulan live action is not already historically accurate because Mulan is not an actual thing that happened in history. There's no Mulan in the actual Chinese history, so it cannot be historically accurate. And by the way, the live action already has the idea of phoenix and it has the witch, so it can not be historically accurate because phoenix is just a fairy tale figure, right? So it has to be aesthetically beautiful, but it is not. The clothes are ugly. I'm just telling you guys. And the clothes are not historically accurate either. And I understand that because there are so many dynasties in China. We Chinese cannot even figure that what clothes which dynasty should wear. And that is perfectly okay. And I'm okay with that. It's super hard for this to be historically accurate. And the time period that the Mulan fairy tale is from is actually a very messy time. So I understand that is perfectly okay, but the clothes are just not beautiful. And I'm just going to talk about the clothes that Mulan wore for the most of the time. She was wearing a red outfit on the battlefield, and that just doesn't making sense. Why do all you foreigners just always think we Chinese like the color of red? That is such a stereotype. How do you even camouflage? Because in the movie, Mulan is fighting the Romans in the desert. And we know deserts are yellow. So if you're wearing red, how can you camouflage? Like the enemies can just see you out there and shoot, then the enemy will just shoot you so easily. Especially if you're wearing red on the battlefield, you're saying, I'm the target, shoot me, shoot me. So why you're wearing color red? And this makes a lot more sense in the animation. In the animation, Mulan's wool outfit is actually in the shade black and green, and that is a good color for camouflage in the meadow or in the grass. So that makes perfect sense. But the red, it just doesn't even make sense. And also, I had an issue about her hair. I know when you are doing a bun and when you untie the bun, your hair sometimes curly or wavy, but her hair when she untie the bun is like super wavy, and I can tell as a girl, I can tell that is the work of curling iron, of a curling wand. That is not how it was natural to be. How the hell her hair is so super wavy and super beautiful in the battlefield? That just don't even make sense, okay? And you know what the thing I want to talk about is that there's basically no humor in this film, and all the jokes are like super awkward, or they are taken from the animation. So I don't know why you had to watch this movie. You can just go back to watch the animation, and that is even better. And you know what? There's no life lessons in this live action film. The children can learn nothing from this film. Basically, what the children can learn from the film is that if they do not possess chi, then they're doomed. Like, how is that right for the children? Especially, I can go on and on about the things I don't like about the live action. So please just don't watch it. You don't have to watch it. Literally, there's no point in watching it. Basically, just a summary for you guys. All the highlights are from the animation, and anything else what they write by themselves is just completely doesn't make sense. So go back to watch the animation, and that will make you happy, and that is free on Disney+. And by the way, I heard a rumor that the live action Mulan will be available on Disney+ for free in December. That is literally less than 3 months. So of course you can just wait for 3 months, right? Because for Frozen 2, when Frozen 2 first came out in November, it became available on Disney Plus after like 5 months or 4 months, and that is because of COVID-19. They had to speed up the process so you are able to watch Frozen at home. So Mulan live action is actually faster than Frozen 2. So what I think from that is Disney already think that, oh, Mulan is going to be a flop, Mulan is going to be a fail, so we can just put it on Disney Plus for free after 3 months. 3 months is pretty quick, okay? So I'm just super bummed right now and super disappointed. I'm sorry for being overexcited in this film about why I don't like Mulan and everything wrong about Mulan. Because it is, everything is like seems to be wrong for live action Mulan. Because what I think is that if you want the viewers to like the movie, Disney should not call it live action Mulan. It just call you Mulan or what, a Go Warrior or something, because it has nothing to do with the animation. And because it is so much worse than the animation, okay? You cannot let the audience think that it is linked to the animation, or the audience will be like, oh, what a crap it is. So I'm sorry for being overexcited because the movie is just not great, and I know that Disney are going to make other live action movies. Like what I know is Hercules and Atlantis. Because I'm actually happy about that because I have watched those 2 movies and I especially like Hercules. And I think those 2 movies are super underrated because they are from the period that Disney does not do good on animation. So if they do live action of those 2 movies, maybe the audience will go back to watch the animation and they will appreciate the animation. So I think that is good. It can bring the great work to more people's attention. I think that is good. So I hope Disney are not going to ruin my Hercules for me. So I hope they are doing good. Cause for Disney live action movies, like Cinderella, the dress is just so beautiful. I really like Aladdin, honestly. So I'm super okay with Disney doing their live actions because it is aesthetically beautiful. Like, if you haven't watched the dress transformation in Cinderella 2015, go watch it. That is such a beautiful thing. And also the dance in Beauty and the Beast when Belle is in her yellow dress. Maybe that yellow dress is a little bit too simple, but when she's dancing in that yellow dress, I just got tear up. It just reminded me so much of my childhood, and I am a Disney kid and I am a Disney grown up. Like, it just gets to me every time. I'm just super sad Mulan is not that great because Mulan is actually a hero that I look up to as a Chinese kid. So I'm super sad about that. So just give you guys a hint that don't watch it, just go watch the animation, and that can save your childhood. You don't have to spend 100 minutes on this film, and I suffer from this 100 minutes, and I have no idea what I'm going to say because I literally I stayed up late and I watched this crap movie and my eye literally got swollen today. So I really don't like this movie. So please don't hate on me. So please, if you like this movie, please don't hate on me. It's just my own opinion from a Chinese girl who looked up to Mulan from the childhood. So if you disagree with me, comment down below. Maybe we can discuss about it, of course. And if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I upload every Wednesday, Sunday, and I will see you soon. Bye guys.